Yeah, absolutely. Exeter have made changes and they've been forced to make one on the bench as well. The defensive unit, though, which has been excellent lately, 5 clean sheets in their last 8 matches, is intact. Joe Whitworth on goal, on loan from Crystal Palace. 3 players who arrived in the transfer window because their defence was absolutely decimated by injury. Ed Turns, Angus MacDonald and Alex Hartridge. The wing-backs, Jack McMillan on the right, Ben Purrington on the left. Across midfield, Pat Jones and Tony Yogan come in on the flanks, with Joel Colwell also a change alongside Ryan Trevitt. And up front is the Northern Ireland international, Josh McGuinness. They'll be a tough prospect, I think, Andy, because they're just not getting goals in anymore.
No, and I think they've changed a little bit since sort of Christmas. They got hit for 6 by Orient, and I think they changed tack, the way they play. Caldwell is very much a passing out from the back type manager, a new breed, if you like. But he's changed. He's changed and gone, no, we're going to play a little bit more direct. We're going to be a lot more solid at the back and not concede as many. And they've certainly done that since that sort of period. And they've been right up there. They're top 5 in form for the last 4 or 5 games. So this is going to be a really, really difficult game. As you said, they don't concede many. We don't concede many. Doesn't bode well, does it, for a sensational goals-filled afternoon?
Well, you know, you look at it one way, it's a long way to come for a goalless draw. This is our most distant away game of the season. Having said that, I mean, in the current circumstances, don't get me wrong, I want Wrexham to win. A draw here wouldn't be a disaster, quite frankly, because Wycombe will drop points, surely. If they don't, fair play to them. They'd have won the league anyway, or gone second anyway, as Phil Parkson is out applauding the Wrexham fans. Brilliant support here for, like I said, a distant game. It's a good 4.5 hours from Wrexham, and the away end is packed across the goal, and also the seats next to us, so a chunk of the seats in the main stand are also given to away fans, and that's packed too. Tremendous support here. They've been making great noise, and they've been very nicely welcomed by Exeter, who had somebody on the gate giving out vouchers for a free cup of tea for the away fans, which is a rather nice touch. May touch on that later on. Exeter, a fan-owned club and a really well-run club as well. A good example as Exeter are in the huddle. Like I said, they are a tough proposition. They suffered terrific amounts of injuries at the back. They've reshaped that defence, and as Andy said, changed their style of play, and it's bringing them results. Wrexham will have to work hard for this, as Wrexham in gold will be kicking, if you're watching on the stream, from left to right. Exeter in their usual home kit of red and white stripes, and away we go. Max Cleworth immediate with the ball to his feet, lifts it, looking through the middle. It's over Rodriguez's head and cleared. McGuinness does well to lay it off. Dobson gets a good foot in. McLean will look to get after an awkward swirling ball and does get there first, and has a chance now to run at his man. Drills in the cross. It's well defended by Turns. Good positive start by Wrexham though. Throw in, level the edge of the area, left hand side then. Taken quickly, Rathbone, just a bit too quickly for him. He's still chasing it in the box, and Turns again does well to get away from him. McGuinness isolated up front, brings it down really well though and works it wide. He brings Yogan into the game, and he's done well in turn to help it on for Purrington. Return pass now. Yogan on the left flank, rides Dobson's tackle. Longman fouls him, free kick about 30 yards out left hand side. And well, Yogan brought into the team today, certainly getting at us.
Yeah, young, really talented, on loan here. Only played a small number of games. You look at this Exeter side; they are a very young side. Is that something we can really try and get at today? But immediately starts well, wins that foul. You know, really dangerous area early on here for Exeter to get a ball into that Wrexham box.
Being fan zone, they're certainly using the loan market really well, aren't they? 5 loans in the starting 11 today, all taking their first steps into professional football. So really youthful, vibrant type team.
Trevitt lofts it into the far post. It's headed partly away by O'Connell, but it'll come back in again. The ball stood back in, and in the end it ricochets away. Wrexham are shouting for handball. Longman clears well. Smith fighting for it. Longman returns the ball. Now Longman can accelerate down the right-hand side, crossing the halfway line. He's covered well, but he finds Smith, and Wrexham have got out now. Dobson in the middle of the pitch, pings it across to the left-hand side. Brunt in space, helps it quickly down the line. McLean level the edge of the area, tries to put it into the near post. It's dealt with by McDonald. Only out as far as Rathbone, 25 yards out. Intense start. James, that's a good ball. Longman has got Purrington isolated. Rips it into the goal mouth. Keeper pushes it. It's driven back in. I think it hits a defender. As Rathbone hit the shot, and a defender managed to block it with the keeper on the floor. Wrexham so nearly taking an early lead there. But goodness me, it was a good ball in by Longman. A real tempter into the goal mouth.
Well, it's the switch of play that does so well for Wrexham. And it's a great cross from Longman. I don't know who gets across the front post, but they do enough to put them off. And Rathbone comes on to the seconds. I think it hits Jay Rodriguez. And he's the one that blocks it. And it looked like it was going to go in the bottom corner. But it just hit the back of Rodriguez and comes out.
Wrexham knocking on the door, and the Wrexham fans making fabulous noise. Ball thrown into the corner of the box. Dobson back to Longman. He'll have to go back to the halfway line. And the ball in the end to James, who pinged that really sharp ball out for Longman. Cleworth going for the big diagonal. Wrexham are finding McLean in space. This is the third time they found him. Taking on his man. He waits for support. Plays it behind Rathbone rather. But Wrexham retain the ball. Matty James back to O'Connell. McGuinness puts him under pressure. Cleworth now on the halfway line, helping it on. Wrexham moving it around nicely. Longman back into the middle of the pitch. James tries to clip it over the top. Looking again for McLean. Doesn't quite get hold of it. The ball's launched clear. Throw to Wrexham, but this is good, and we're really switching it and getting it out wide and finding space easily, haven't we?
Yeah, really good start by Wrexham. Just keeping that pressure on. But Exeter seem to have moved into a bit of a four at times, out of possession. McMillan, I thought, would be right out wide as tucked in and almost in that central midfield role.
Here now, Cleworth, measured pass down the line. Longman receives it on the halfway line. Back to Dobson as the stretch to control. This is pass behind Cleworth, who just has to accelerate to make sure Yagan doesn't race him. Back to Okonkwo, knocks it clear. Headed away by Hartridge, who's an interesting character insofar as he's on loan from Wycombe. So he's got double reason to try and do well here today. Cleworth at the throat. O'Connell now on the edge of the area. Wrexham dominating possession as well as looking threatening early on. On the halfway line, Rathbone turns neatly and accelerates forwards. Lets McLean take over. James now in the middle of the pitch once more. Again being progressive. Lovely chip for Sam Smith. He's offside. Same that because he finished superbly. The Wrexham fans celebrate and then realise that the flag is up. But again, Wrexham looking progressive, and we're finding gaps behind this very strong defence.
Yeah, really nice ball in, little dink from Matty James, just showing off his technical ability. And I haven't seen it back, I'm pretty sure he is offside, Sam Smith. But does what every striker should do, takes it anyway and finishes really well.
Yeah, terrific start this by Wrexham. Here's Yogan now, trying to tame a bouncing ball, protects it well from Longman. Is he pulling his shirt? Good ball by Yogan. Into the middle of the pitch. And Hartridge lays off nicely. Yeah, McMillan, we thought would be a wing back, seems to be playing more of a holding role in a double pivot as Exeter switch out wide as to scurry to get the ball, keep the ball in, does Purrington, but Yogan again just wriggles out of a tight area. And Wrexham have to settle into that mid-block that we all are so familiar with. Is now it's turned. So nice little step over, taking on McLean. Good tackle. Thrown by the corner flag.
Well, there were a couple of passes in that passage of play that just got away from Exeter, but we weren't able to make anything from them, and they were able to keep the ball. But that's the first time really Exeter have had any opportunity of any passage of play in our half. McLean doing really well 1v1.
Hartridge will take the throw in. They look to be setting up for a long one. Certainly hasn't got any short options yet. Again, it stands on Okonkwo. And James goes to mark him. Referee gives the go-ahead. Throw towards the near post. Firm header by Brunt. Now Smith, they've only left one back marking him. Can he bring someone in as players burst beyond him? He's done well to control that under pressure and feed the ball backwards accurately. And now McLean quickly down the line. This is a very fast-paced, open-looking game. The opposite of what I thought it would be. Smith with an early cross to the far post. He's overdone it, and Longman won't be able to keep that end. But yeah, at the moment, this is a war of movement, not attrition.
Yeah, I think that's more of a chance, that really, if Sam Smith gets that cross right. But obviously Jay Rodriguez in there, you'd fancy in close range, and Ryan Longman coming in the back post just overhits that cross, gets it wrong. But absolutely Exeter have looked a lot more open than I thought they would be, which is promising for Wrexham.
It just seems so easy, to come out and just play 2 passes and we're out and down the sides of them.
Well, Exeter with a throw by their corner flag, but surely Gary Caldwell in the dugout must already be thinking, okay, has this change of shape actually worked? Because Wrexham are really getting at Exeter. They get Exeter with another throw, about 20 yards short of the halfway line. Hartridge was just down. Was it Hartridge, in fact? McDonald, and feeling the back of his leg there, but he's carrying on. Wrexham win the ball from the throw. Longman looks to scoop it forward. Smith can't quite get there, but he forces an error. And luckily for Exeter, falls for McDonald. The referee's given a foul. Seemed a little generous to Exeter. Certainly Rathbone can't believe it. He's protesting.
Yeah, I didn't think there was much in it. It's typical Ollie Rathbone. Straight away, he's on that press, puts the pressure on, and I just thought he forced him to make that mistake, get the pass wrong. It's unlucky, I think.
That's how it looked to me as well, to be honest with you. I just thought McDonald, who is still limping a little bit, just got a bit caught out by that pass.
I think Phil Parkinson not too pleased as well. He's a couple of feet on the pitch, screaming at the ref.
Good tackle by Dobson when they played a short free kick. Throw-in goes against him. And Parkinson is out again, vocal. And the referee is going to come over and talk to him. Throw-in on the halfway line eventually for Exeter, but Hartridge with the ball in his hands has to go back and wait for the referee, who has now spoken to Parkinson. No card. Hartridge will take the throw. Remember, you can get in touch using Ask Wrexham. That's hashtag ASKWXM on Blue Sky or Twitter. Long throw down the line by Hartridge. Helped on well by McGuinness. No one really beyond him. And it's cleared not very well by Brunt. Clueth does well in the stretch to get it partly away. Longman launches it down the flank. And McDonald has plenty of time to go back to his goalkeeper. But yeah, Pat Jones on the right and Yogan on the left are trying to support McGuinness from the flanks and lock it long to McGuinness, who, yeah, well done referee, barges into Max Clueth. Free kick to Wrexham. He looked over his shoulder and had a good look at where Clueth was before he banged into him. He knew what he was doing. He made it a bit too obvious.
Yeah, he did. He just, we're looking at both 3-5-2 really, aren't we? Sets up, so we've spoken about this before, about you being better than the man you're playing up against, and if you can get 8 or 9 of your players better than them, then you win the game.
Okonkwo will take the free kick about 30 yards out from his own goal.
Nice new boots there, Arthur.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Nice. White snazzy Adidas.
He stands it towards the corner of the box, and Smith can't quite get there, but the ricochet falls for him. Oh, he's unlucky. He tried to turn edge of the area, turned into the crowd and was dispossessed. Exeter do well to feed it up to McGuinness, who is fouled from behind, does he? Ref says not. Might be a good advantage anyway, because Yogan will keep it in on the left. He's got Clueth isolated, but Clueth won't let him turn. Good defending, gets help from Longman, and in the end Longman comes out. He's under pressure, he rides a tackle, flicks it forwards, but Yogan has read that and covers it well. Good little duel between the two of them there. Yogan again, good pass. He looks very tidy on the ball. Wrexham now having to get back into their shape as Exeter move around on halfway, and Dobson just putting a bit of pressure on, hurrying Purrington and making him play it backwards. Purrington again. This time goes second hole, but there's no one making the run down there. O'Connell will get there. Defence is turned, and he has to launch it clear over Trevitt's head for the throw-in. And I guess that's what you're saying, Andy, the change of style, just turning our defence there to win the throw in our half.
Yeah, I think it's the wind as well. I think the wind is going straight down the pitch. We're with the wind, so any balls into the channel just hold up. They won't run out of play going that way. so you can just leave it in there and let your strikers go and run. If Exeter are going to play the way that they have done so far in this game, first 10, 11 minutes, then it's key that we stop McGuinness getting the ball, and playing and having it a touch and can set his midfielders. We've got to try and stop that at source.
Yeah, he's a player who can really bring other players in, as Hartridge puts another long throw in. It's flatter, and it's well read by Brunt. Oh dear, who makes a hash of then getting rid of it. He's miskicked it, but luckily for Wrexham, Purrington's attempt to pass to Yogan is poor. Throw into Wrexham, level the edge of the area.
Yeah, but he does really well initially, Lewis Brunt, because the throw-in's really flat, and he has to redirect his head to make sure he doesn't mistime that one. Then he actually does mistime the clearance, doesn't he? Gets that one wrong, then luckily gets away with it. Purrington, really poor ball out.
Throw in on the halfway then, well won by Rodriguez, but McMillan reads it well. The pass back to him's not the kindest, but he brings down beautifully with his toe, and it's driven over the top. Cleworth gets up and ricochets. Yogan gets in the box, tight angle, no real support. Sensibly holds it up. The fans groan, but he had nobody in there to pass it to. He did well to hang on to that. Now McGuinness looks to win the corner. I think it's a throw, but again, Yogan looks very lively, doesn't he?
Well, I don't think both centre-halves needed to go up for it. A bit of communication between them, leave one of them up, because McGuinness is only going to flick it to nobody, and so one of them can sit off, but both of them go up, and it's Yogan that goes round. And I think if he's going to take the opportunity, he has to hit it first time. He doesn't, which enables the Wrexham backline to get back into some sort of shape.
Hartridge, wow, it's a huge throw to the far post almost. Again, though, he doesn't avoid Brunt, who heads it clear. They've run it back though. Hartridge on the left-hand side feeds it over the top, much too much on that. It goes behind for the goal kick, but a good little spell of pressure by Exeter at least. All started by turning the defence at long ball down the flank, and as Andy said, it looks like we have a slight contrast in styles, which will be interesting to watch. It's on Ask Wrexham, by the way. Ask Wrexham trending on Blue Sky, as we usually do. I noticed Ask Wrexham was the 6th biggest trending hashtag on Sunday during the women's game, which is pleasing, on Blue Sky, just ahead of hashtag Trump, which tells you something about how many people use it. That's a great flick by Rodriguez. He looks offside, flag stays down. He works it wide. McLean's got time to measure across, 2 men on him though, so he pulls it back for Rathbone. Rathbone back into midfield. Matty James looking for the switch. That's a great ball. Longman into the goal mouth, headed away from under the bar, crucially by McDonald. Cleworth wins it back. Corner of the box, Longman again. Dobson out wide. Wrexham really putting pressure on. Cleworth manipulates the ball nicely. Was Longman fouled? No. Throw in goes to Exeter. Phil Parkinson can't believe it. But great pressure again. Longman looks really sharp to me at the moment. Longman's still down, and the ref's going to go across to see him.
Well, the wing-backs have been so key so far in this game, because we're so high and wide. The two Brentford wing-backs are just pushed right back, and we seem to be able to just pin them in when we get decent possession in the midfield. If we can keep switching the ball, then gaps will appear. I thought off the flick of Smith before, I thought Rodriguez was sort of, if he had turned and he said maybe have a swivel on his left foot, but decides to cut back and play in McLean.
Yeah, I totally agree on the Rodriguez one. I think he probably thinks he is offside. It would have been a tight one, but he's just got that extra second, I think, to maybe turn, and he's got so much space in that area then. But hopefully Ryan Longman's okay. Just getting treatment at the moment.
Yeah, just looking at the replay, I think it looks like a push, but the line's a lot closer than I am, so fair enough. But I just wonder whether he's gone over his ankle when he's fallen. There was no kick on him that I could see. He's still getting treated. The referee's getting impatient now, wants him to leave the pitch.
Well, he rolled back on.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't realise that.
As he went down, he was just sort of off the pitch, and little roll back onto his back so that he doesn't just get play on with a man down.
Well, he's up on his feet. He'll have to stay off the pitch, of course, for 30 seconds. Insert usual rant here. And I might pre-record that and just press play whenever that just happens. I can see the throw-in's taken and it's flicked on by McGuinness. Good work by Matty James. A little play started superbly. And Rodriguez, he's just tucked a bit deeper to cover tries to knock her over the top. It's a throw to Exeter deep in their own half. On us, Wrexham. Rathbone's warming blanket points out. Oh, it throws Wrexham there, beg your pardon. The referee's shorts are awfully tight. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that.
Great spot.
Yes. I'm slightly concerned. I'll explain why in a minute. Throw in taken, partly headed away by Purrington. Good jump by Rodriguez to beat him. And it goes behind in the end for a goal kick. The referee's name is Alex Chilovitz. And last night and this morning, a guy with a very similar name kept bombarding me with friend requests and stuff on social media. And now, I don't think it's him. Well, I've earned myself a weird stare from the row in front of the press box. So that was something. But, I mean, if he's trying to attract my attention by wearing tight pants, I mean, I'm sorry, mate, but no. Longman's back on the pitch and he turns the defence, or tries to, with the ball over the top. McDonald hands it comfortably. I like to think I broke that bloke in the row in front of us' mind. I'm hoping so. Exeter on the right-hand side now. Ball threaded through inaccurately. Good little recovery to prod the ball back by Matty James. Just seems to be everywhere at the moment in the middle of the pitch. Brunt forwards. And it's a well improvised little flick headed by Turns. He knew Smith was behind him. So the Wrexham fans now make a noise while singing the national anthem. Here is Josh McGuinness. Jarvis says that Purrington trod on Longman's heel when he went to play the ball. Macmillan feeding it back, and the long ball launched, looking for Jones in the air. He manages to pin Brunt, stopping for challenging for it. O'Connell partly away. Jones again. It hit a hand, but it was an inadvertent, and Wrexham tidy it up. Longman looking for Smith on his own up front. Just too much on that. Smith is an eager chaser of the ball and can be very effective in those situations, but I sometimes wish there was one extra pass in that situation. The long and slide it into midfield and we can give him more accurate service, really. As that's a lovely little flick round the corner, and Jones is accelerating into the box. Great pace by Brunt, who, as he loses balance, hooks it out for a throw. Good recovery, that.
Yeah, really good recovery. Looks like he's beaten for pace and then just stretches those legs, gets back in and does really well to put that ball out for a throw.
I think it's probably windier than we think sat up here. The wind just seems to be holding it up, which makes it a little bit more difficult for the centre halves for Wrexham, because the ball's not coming onto you, whereas the opposite way, it really does come onto you and you can get up and you can predict where you think it's going to land. But when it's held up a little bit, if McGuinness has got you pinned, then it's going to drop in front of him and you're going to have to go over the top and maybe a foul.
Yeah, it was an awkward one, wasn't it? Brunt looked to be underneath it and all of a sudden wasn't. And yet again, the long throw, and that's put into the 6-yard box, headed away by Brunt. O'Connell stepped back in and got in the way a little bit, but Brunt made good contact on that. Here now is Colwell, pulling it into midfield. Ball swept in, and again it's O'Connell and another teammate. This time Dobbs are going for it. O'Connell this time squeezes it wide. Yogan step overs, tries to cross. Longman did well, stayed on his feet, got the block in. It spins to Colwell, and his pass is not the kindest for Travis. He's had to retrieve it, just about keeps her in, and knocks it off Rathbone for the throw in midfield. But yeah, it's an interesting start. Wrexham have had chances. I've got at Exeter down the sides, but Exeter are getting that ball in behind Wrexham's defence, and once they get a bit of spell of pressure like this, it's hard for Wrexham to get up the pitch easily. Here in the centre of the pitch now is McDonald, switching play to the right. Ball stood up into the box, too much on that, little bounce through. Well, we've all got fab facts about players. You spotted, didn't you, Andy? McDonald did something remarkable against us.
Yeah, so we played Salisbury in the FA Trophy, I think it was 2012, and they were in the league below, I think, and we travelled all the way down there and we ended up getting beat 2-1 in the trophy, and he scored the winner, but the winner, he went up from centre-back for a wide free kick. The free kick came in, but it was behind everybody. Kreitz, I think it was, had had him like in a horizontal position, and he ended up scorpion kicking it off his heel, and it went flying in the top corner as the winner. Remarkable goal, and that's when I thought that maybe our luck's out this year and it's not meant to be.
Well, let's watch him on set pieces, if he can pull that off. McLean's won a free kick. And Wrexham are taken back into their own half. O'Connell, just a bit hurried there by McGuinness. Does well to get out to Rathbone. Wrexham's moving around at the back. McGuinness is trying to put pressure again on O'Connell. They commit Trevitt forwards as well. Nice pass by Brunt inside him. Bit of space for James, who pulls it out wide. Rathbone on the halfway line. Wrexham just moving it around. Exeter don't want to come out to press this time. And so Brunt goes for the killer ball. Longman does well to read that and get there ahead of Purrington. He's found Smith. Smith quickly out to McLean. Good ball on the left. 3 Wrexham players in the box. McLean running at his man. Pulls it back. Chance for the cross. Ripped in. Deflection. It's in! And Maui Rathbone gives Wrexham the lead. There was a big deflection. I'm not convinced it was a shot, but he'll take that. He ripped it in around the penalty spot, flicked off a defender, and Wrexham take the lead here at St James Park.
Well, a brilliant strike, and I don't really know who it comes off in the end, as we've not quite seen the replay yet, but really good play by Wrexham. Little round the corner from Longman into Smith. Smith puts it out to McLean. You think he's going to cross it. I thought Rathbone made a run into the box, but he just holds his position, and then when he strikes it, just hits it on the angle. Big deflection, wrong foot's the keeper, and flies into the roof of the net.
Well, I mean, firstly, Longman did so well to make something out of that diagonal as well. Brunt was being ambitious. He drilled it. Longman was so sharp. Purrington was on his heels. Longman nipped in front and enabled the attack to develop. McLean pulled it back, and wow, did he mean it, do you reckon?
No, the replay I've just seen is far too blurry to try and assume how that ball ended up in the back of the net, but Whitworth was rooted.
Here come Exeter. Jones, good cross, good header by O'Connell, who's been attacked at the near post by Trevitt. O'Connell got up really well. Here's Rathbone under pressure, calmly plays it into the box. Brunt mishits his clearance. Luckily for Wrexham, it ricochets off Trevitt's heel, Angus MacDonald style, and this time goes kindly straight through to Okonkwo. Great scenes now behind the goal.
Absolutely, but almost an instant response from Exeter. They come out really well when teams are normally at the most weak after scoring. And it is a bit of a chance, that, isn't it? We just don't clear our lines, try and play out.
Huge kick by Okonkwo. Smith was eased away, so he couldn't challenge for it. No foul given. Exeter have won it back, but hook it straight out of play. Throw on the halfway line. And Wrexham have the lead. Like I say, it was either a fabulous strike that took a big deflection or a cross. I mean, he ripped it in with a bit of shape.
That's right, he didn't really tee off on it, did he? He didn't strike it with the laces. He sort of whipped it, and it's definitely deflection, but who it comes off, I'm not too sure. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. It wasn't Rodriguez, it was one of the defenders. But in that situation, as a defender, you have to try and do something. Yeah. And it's just unfortunate, there's no blame at all for just trying to get in the way of it and block it.
Free kick dinked over the top by James. That could have caused the problem. It's a corner. It was a clever idea. He just ripped it over the top. He was looking to put a man in behind, and well, Hartridge, facing his own goal, swung wildly. The keeper had come out of his goal to cover it, and if he'd made contact and put it on target, that would have been an own goal, but he sliced it over the keeper and behind.
Yeah, Matty James has had a few already in this game, hasn't he, where he's just been pinging them here and there. Just absolutely wonderful to watch.
Oh, he looks so in the mood. In swinger then. McLean signals. Exeter have left 2 players up. Short options on. Matty James is offering. Oh, he's in the mood, isn't he? He's still on in the box, because James Jones didn't really cover him. Ripped to the far post, too much on that. I know it's not what they worked on, but that run by James, I think, was worth using. He was in a lovely position, and Jones looked at him, but he didn't go back to cover him. He could have just rolled him in 15 yards out.
Yeah, I think that's probably off script, a little bit of experience from James, seeing what the situation is. There's 4 back for Wrexham with one just sitter, and why not go and try and step in and change it? Jones has to go back with you, really, because if he doesn't, he's free on the edge of the box for a shot.
Yeah, so the advantage of bringing Jones back, but he didn't really. So, wow. Wrexham now again. McLean trying to lift a diagonal, looking for Smith. Unlucky. It's headed away, but again, Wrexham win the seconds this time. Rodriguez deep, quickly out to Longman. Lays it back to Cleworth, who sets himself, doesn't go diagonal, but he finds Matty James, and he clips another one trying to turn defence. Hartridge covered that well. It's a good run in behind him. Wrexham win it back again, though, through James. Exeter looking to play their way out from the back grid. Tackled by Dobson, feeds at the edge of the area. Smith, unlucky. Just can't quite control that. It wasn't the best pass. It really pinged wide of him. Smith's made a great run, and that's a good ball by Dobson. In round the back of the fence, Smith lays it off. Longman takes a touch, taking on Purrington again. Pulls it back to Cleworth, corner of the box. Right-footed cross, chested down neatly. Smith keeps it moving. Matty James, 25 yards out. Exeter got a big crowd of defenders on the edge of the box. So Wrexham go wide. Longman tackled well by Purrington. But this is good, isn't it? We're really taking the game to them.
Yeah, really nice to see from Wrexham away from home, really going for it. There's just a few opportunities in there. I totally agree with you on the Dobson one, Mark, the initial one. He just gets that pass wrong into Smith, I think it was, didn't he? If he gets that right, I think Smith can open up and probably get a shot off on goal.
Yeah, it was unusual for Dobson as Rodriguez tries what would have been a glorious pass. He knew exactly where Longman was. Tried first time switch, and it would have made it, but Purrington managed to get in between and head it away. Yeah, there was no one in between them. He had the clear sight of him, and it was like a 5-6 yard pass. And well, he's usually that sort of thing he'll do with his eyes closed. Maybe that was the problem. Long ball forwards, Yogan beaten in the air by Cleworth. Rathbone again is quick to get there, hooks it around the corner, headed clear by Hartridge. James now, actually in the end, it's headed away by Dobson. Rodriguez brings it down. Exeter looking to press, but Wrexham are really shifting it around well under the pressure. Dobson switches, and now Brunt has shape, and Wrexham are really manipulating Exeter. Here's Rathbone on the halfway line. O'Connell now. McGuinness comes sprinting out, but nobody comes to help him. Seems to be happening quite a lot. McGuinness working very hard, but when they're looking to press, as Cleworth's passes goes awry, he's the only one, and they can just bypass him. Am I naive saying this? We've had empty midweek. Practicalities do matter. You have a whole week to analyse what Exeter do, and we come out here and we're just moving them around all over the place. Does the extra prep time rather than right as a game on Tuesday make a difference, I wonder? I don't know. I know Connor goes away a free kick, but I don't know. I mean,
well, we've certainly looked to press quicker when we've given the ball away. We've been really getting it back in the opponent's half when we've given it away. But also we're looking to start from a conquo and play out when we've had it, and sometimes we've been a little bit quick to go a bit direct, but it's obviously something that Phil Parkinson has seen in the way that Exeter play. They're maybe sitting a bit deeper, so we do have to get O'Connell on the ball. We do have to get Max on it to suck them out and draw them out of their shape and out of their little low block to then open them up like we did for the goal, really.
Free kick chipped into the Wrexham box and flicked away by Brunt. Good block by Rodriguez, just coming across to stop the ball coming back in. Yogan clips a good cross in. Great header by O'Connell. Shot comes in, it's blocked. It'll be a corner. Purrington, the shot on the block. Cleworth blocks, but Hartridge tried to get his head on Yogan's cross. Brilliant header by O'Connell. He almost arrived at the same time, and the ball dropped loose. Corner. It's clearly, Exeter not used to losing, unbeaten in 6. And there's plenty to go in this game. The sort of side who can strike from a set piece. They've got a crowd of players around the 6-yard box. Colwood swings it to the far post. Good punch. Okonkwo to stretch. Shot comes back in. Brilliant save, Okonkwo. Now then, it looked like a foul on Okonkwo.
It's a free kick on Okonkwo. They've got their arms around his neck when he's just about to jump for it. How the ref's not seen it, but a wonderful save, and 3 of the Wrexham boys were charging out to block it.
That was a hell of a save, wasn't it? And like I say, he was pulled to the ground. He still managed to get a punch. That was great goalkeeping. And when the ball came back in, it was drilled in. Great save. Here comes a long throw again. O'Connell again gets his head to it first. McLean stops it going for the corner, but he's lost it. And now a chance for Exeter. Drilling it in. It's deflected over. That was a chance that smashed into a crowded goal mouth from the right-hand side by Caldwell. Took a deflection, flew over the bar.
Yeah, good defending again. I think it's Jay Rodriguez this time. Them gold shirts just making sure they get in front of that ball. Just try and get that block in. This time it's that deflection that luckily, again, goes over the bar. But it just comes from James McLean, not quite making the right decision.
So corner dinked up to the penalty spot. Smith does well, and he's fouled, and the ref can see that one. It was a nice ball up. Smith read the ball in, though. Picked up his man and got a shove in the back from Caldwell for his troubles. But best spell of the game for Exeter so far.
Yeah, definitely, but brilliant by Smith, really, because it's obviously something that they've seen as well. Exeter do start with somebody outside the edge of the box, vacate the space around the back, and one of the deeper liers goes in around the back, but Smith's done his job. He stayed with him and been able to get first contact on the ball and a free kick. And very wisely, Okonkwo taking his time and getting all the lads up the pitch.
So, free kick, Okonkwo will take. Carla GS on Ars Wrexham says we're playing Purrington on Saturday. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah. Anyway, Wrexham move it forwards. Clear though. McGuinness brings it down nicely. Dobson steps in really well to get the ball back to Okonkwo. We're seeing that fighting side of Dobson to the fore. He's won a lot of tackles already. As Exeter do step up to press now. McGuinness trying to get to Okonkwo, who drills it wide. McLean's done really well to keep that in, and Rathbone just can't quite pick it up, but it's won back anyway by Matty James. McLean under pressure will go back to Okonkwo, and Okonkwo this time I wish I could do that. Puts it into the extra half with a side foot back header, which Smith's interested in. Keeper has to come out of the box to launch it clear. McLean gets up early and well, heads it down the line. It'll go for a throw to Exeter. But, you know, we're meeting the physical challenge well. You know, McLean's going to do that. O'Connell's won a lot of good headers. Like you said, Mia, Rodriguez has got back from set pieces and done well. Dobson has won some good tackles. We're not shying away from the challenge here. As McMillan prods it forward, Jagan pushes Longman in the back. In fact, he holds the back of his head and looks like he wants a moment. Free kick in the centre circle. Referee says no, it's not. Take it a bit further back. Dave is king on Ars Wrexham. This is why we have Okonkwo. Indeed. Craig is listening from Vancouver while donating blood. Wow. If you're doing anything else peculiar while listening, please, obviously, you know, above the waist, let us know. O'Connell, beg your pardon, knocks it on, headed on, but straight into the goal mouth. Referee says it was a foul as well, but the ball's in the keeper's arms, so he lets play continue. There was a good one, actually. I'll have to find at half-time as Brunt is penalised on the halfway line. Just challenged from behind, tried to make it look like it wasn't a foul, but collided, his body banged into his man.
I just think we're a little bit deep from those kicks. They're not hitting, they're not going over the top, they're not going very far because of the wind against. So we can start way higher and like get our units a little bit more compact. We're always trying to fight with the ball and trying to get round the strikers and the wing backs. We just got to make sure that we pin them in and don't let them win that first ball.
Free kick was won by McGuinness, but Wrexham clear. And now on the halfway line, good strength by Smith, who surely is fouled. Not given. Referee played advantage. Parkinson is still going mad. Decides he'll have a go at the fourth official anyway. But the ref did give the free kick, to be fair, on the halfway line. Yeah,
well, it was Purrington for Exeter just completely sort of switched off, I thought. It looked like it was his ball all day long. And Sam Smith comes steaming in, makes it his, does really well, holds people off and wins that foul.
Cleworth is on it. And yeah, Longman's caused some issues for Purrington, hasn't he, as Cleworth Stands a nasty ball in. The defender let it bounce. It does go behind in the end for a goal kick. But yeah, again, I don't know if the wind slightly affected, but it looked like Toms was underneath it, and then suddenly he wasn't. And yeah, when you get that ball bounced like that, usually there's trouble, but it managed to go all the way through. Sherry, the Wrexham fan, says I'm naming my next cat Purrington. Well, thus far he hasn't been the cat's whiskers, has he? Let's be honest. As Matty James heads it clear, Purrington gets his head to it, and again, but gives it to Matty James, who flicks it over the top, looking to turn the defence. Really elaborate back-header by McDonald, twisting and managing to get good power on it, considering that. Back to the keeper.
Yeah, I think McLean was the one that was on then. He was 1v1 in that channel and just sort of waiting for that ball, and Matty James takes it on his thigh. I think he thinks about it, but then plays it straight down the middle, where a ball into the corner probably gives McLean a bit more chance.
We don't have a monitor. What a shame, because Ruby Slippers now, we've already addressed the referee's bottom half, says the facial expressions of this ref. Oh, I wish I could see it. Here is Dobson, does well to bring that under control and protect it. Longman thinks about going down the line. I think Smith's disappointed he didn't. He then gets pulled to the ground by Trevitz. He was told by the ref to calm down. Free kick in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, it's good play from Longman though, because we have done that a few too many times, a bit too obvious. Just as soon as we've got that ball and get a little bit of pressure, we go for that long one over the top to Smith. So he's just very clever, cuts back in, draws that foul, gives the Exeter players something to think about now on what he's going to do on the next one.
As the ball is worked to the right-hand side, Dobson over the top has again a good idea, and Hartridge can only just get enough on it to get it through to the keeper. He didn't have much control of that, Hartridge. There's nothing else he could do. Could easily been a corner. I've just realised where I recognise this referee. He's the American ref, isn't he, who's come over to ref in the EFL. Long kick forwards, flicked on cutely to McGuinness, who under pressure as well, pulls it back to Purrington. Good ball forwards, Trevitt chests it down onto a return ball. Yogan, though, is going to have to beat James first, puts the cross in, and O'Connell off-bounds it really well to get her foot to that. Longman, brilliant little Zidane turn, feeds Dobson, he goes down the line. Smith was away, but Hartridge read it well. Good tackle by Rodriguez, is it? Both he and Yogan go down. I think the free kick's been given against Wrexham. I wasn't sure if he didn't get a bit of the ball, but the referee's talking to Parkinson first. He's getting his word in. And McGuinness has come across as well to demand a booking for Rodriguez. Referee looks like he's given a warning here as Rodriguez walks away. And Rodriguez does shake Yogan's hand, except he did catch him.
Yeah, it's a free kick, but he's in his rights to go and have a go and put a foot in. I think it's too easy to just book somebody for that. They've gone for the ball, they've made a genuine effort, nobody's hurt, nobody's done anything wrong. Just get up. Yeah, I got it a little bit wrong, I'm like a second late. Just crack on. If he's done 4 or 5, okay. Yeah.
For me, the one down here when Trevitt just pushes a player to the ground to stop them from grasping the ball is more of a yellow than that. It's an honest attempt to play the ball. Didn't play it, as it turns out, but yeah. Free kick played in, and Dobson covering around the back gets there easily. Good strength by Smith under pressure. Great work to protect the ball, but then having done that, he gives it straight to McMillan. Wrexham, though, put really good pressure on the ball. Here's Brunt stepping up and forcing a pass back to the goalkeeper from deep in Wrexham's half. And the Wrexham fans appreciated that. Wrexham showing real energy and cohesion without the ball. I did see an Ask Wrexham comment from someone saying they were enjoying the more aggressive approach off the ball. Absolutely. As Jones heads it up in the air.
Well, we need to be careful on that long ball over the top, because far too many times two of the back three have gone towards the same one, and it just leaves so much space in behind if Exeter do win that first ball, or they just get a little bit of luck like they did before. Just on that occasion again, O'Connell and Brunt just going for the same one. It's just such a risk, just leaves so much space. Yeah,
O'Connell's just desperate to go and head the thing, but what he does is as it leaves the Exeter player's foot, he reads where it's going to be, but it's not ending up there because of the wind. It's just dropping in, and so he's committed to it and still going, but really it's going to drop in on Brunt, and so you end up going and fighting for the same ball.
Throw down the line, Cleworth wins it well. Longman launches a clearance. Smith again on his own up front. Exeter deal with that. Hartridge going back to his keeper. Jarvis says that Exeter is world renowned for having the biggest John Lewis in the UK. I assume you mean the department store, and not the biggest bloke called John Lewis in the UK. Purrington chips over the top. Cleworth is there though. Heads it into midfield. Dobson is fighting away for it. Purrington helps it on. Colwell has done really well. Works 1-2 in McMillan. Cuts inside Rathbone as well. Rodriguez is back. That's good work by Rodriguez. Stops the shot from coming in. But it's still danger. Jones drills it, deflected. And Okonkwo's done brilliantly to stop that from going for a corner. He accelerated outside his posts and lunged and caught it at full stretch.
Yeah, really nice little bit of play. I think it was Trevitt and Colwell in the midfield just with that little flick, and Trevitt just keeps running with the ball. It's totally took Matty James out of the game initially, and then it just opens up that space, and Okonkwo does really well just to keep that in from going out for a corner.
Enormous kick by Okonkwo as well, and McDonald's, where he lost it in the wind, misjudged it, but luckily for him, nobody was close enough to benefit. Exeter win a free kick, try and take it quickly and ping it straight into Brunt's chest, and he's got enough wherewithal about him to bring it down rather than look to clear it immediately, and Wrexham have it in their own half.
Well, when Jones was 1v1 with McLean as well, Ollie Rathbone bust a gut to get out to make it a 2v1. He goes on the outside, McLean gets the block in. Like you say, Okonkwo does ever so well to keep it in, but a little 5 from Rathbone and McLean.
Another great ball over the top by Okonkwo, and Smith got in behind his man. The keeper comes out of the box and clears it with his knee. As Wrexham are trying to keep the pressure on. In the end, the ball falls for Exeter. Yogan on the halfway line, trying to turn inside Cleworth, who ushers him to Dobson. Good tackle. Cleworth hooks it back over the top. And it's worked back to Whitworth. I mean, it's a little more exposed at that end because the stand opposite us only goes up to the halfway line, and then there's a huge gap with a nice view of all the terraced houses going up the hill. It's because there's a mainline train line right behind the corner of the pitch, so it cuts across as well. Won by Dobson, nicks the ball off Yogan. He can't find Longman, throw in. But whether that win just affecting the Exeter centre-backs, but they've misjudged a few long balls that you'd think a centre-back would handle.
Yeah, just the game's got a little bit scrappy as well. You know, a few passes going astray. Dobson doing ever so well to get it back, but then just not unable to keep it. Just that little bit of quality when we do get it back, working so hard to go and press and get that second ball.
Yeah, it was certainly worth the lead as we get into the last minute of the first half. Of course, if that yawning gap is making a difference with the centre-backs in the air, then we've got it to come in the second half. Wrexham's centre-backs have done very well in the first half as Cleworth wins the header from the throw. Longman launching it long. Smith isolated, creates a loose ball. Rodriguez trying to get there, charges down. Hartridge is clearing. Smith now again fighting back to goal. Outnumbered. Colwell though, well tackled again by Dobson. Rodriguez into trouble, but his fast feet gets him out, and Dobson, he looks to switch. It was the right idea, but he's managed to put it between Rathbone and Brunt, and Bones bursts through the middle. Can he get the shot off? No, because O'Connell does brilliantly to close the door on him. Jones gets a cross in, but too close to Okonkwo, and the Wrexham fans love that. It was a great burst by Jones, but O'Connell did so well.
Yeah, I think he just knocks it through Brunt's legs, doesn't he? Really nice little bit of pace from Jones, but O'Connell really, really well played. Just reads it, gets across, gets his body in the way, makes sure there's no space for Jones to let off that shot. And then the cross, I think the wind maybe catches it a little bit in Arthur's favour.
Well, just staying on his feet. O'Connell doesn't go to ground, just makes Jones make a decision.
That's a cute ball by Longman. Smith can't keep it in. He slices it behind. He had no chance, but cute idea. Yeah, that was just a great piece of defending. Just goes to show that staying on your feet often works better than lunging in with a tackle. People get impressed by hard challenges, but O'Connell just sprinting across there forced Jones into a position where he had to give up the idea of having a shot. Didn't see how long was added on. On plus, I can't.
2, I think.
2, right. Good into the second minute as Dobson again wins the header. throw in to Exeter. Thank you, Dobson, fair play. It's been really fighting for everything. Hartridge then 10 yards short of the halfway line. Wrexham have got to be pleased with the way they've gone about their business in the first half. Long throw by Hartridge. O'Connell underneath it, heads it firmly into midfield. Headed on again. McGuinness under pressure. It brings down his chest. Purrington hurried by Dobson. Cleworth wins the header. Longman hooks it out of play. We've nearly had 2 added minutes now. Hartridge will hope for time just to throw it down the line with his long throw. The referee looks at his watch, tells the ref don't steal any more yards, and then says, all right, I'll just blow up anyway, never mind, half time. Wrexham a goal to the goods, thanks to Ollie Rathbone's deflected goal, and good value for it, I would say.
Yeah, that last 10-15 minutes was very bitty, wasn't it? No real flowing movements like we had in the first 10 minutes. Wrexham really coming out the blocks, doing ever so well, and then getting the goal, and they've just managed that game. For the rest of it, Arthur not really in any difficulty apart from that one blockbuster shot that he did really well to save. But fairly even mixed. I think Wrexham have had the better of it. But going at the break, 1-0 to that deflected Rathbone goal.
You can see Exeter's threat on set pieces. You can see their threat when they get crosses in. And Yogan and Jones clearly have got pace. And in McGuinness, they've got an experienced striker who physically can handle himself. I'm still a little curious. What's the wind like at the other end of the pitch? Is it going to give problems to Wrexham's defence when the ball comes past the stand and the wind affects it? I don't know. Oh, the other thing is, because there's a gap there, they've got double the height advertising hoardings, look about 10 feet high. One of which, brilliantly, is in the shape of a removal van. I like that. I don't know why, it just pleases me.
Well, this half-time has also got the whole reason why we've come, hasn't it? It's a race between an Exeter fan and a Wrexham fan. Somebody has put themselves up to have a race, so we'll keep you up to date with that.
100%.
Make sure we tell you how the outcome stands.
Well, they were asking for ages, weren't they? Come on, somebody's got to do it. We do this at half-time. They said the score so far is Exeter 6, away teams 0, which sounds to me like
that's a setup, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Their Exeter fan just happens to be an apprentice who's really quick winger. Now, you tried, Mia, didn't you? Did your best to fix it, because you think Ava Suckley is in the away end.
Possibly. I thought we might have a little in, but no, I think someone was chosen. So we're waiting anxiously to see the result and watch it, whatever is going to soon to be unfold in front of our eyes, which could go one of 2 ways.
Exactly. Well, a dead heat, possibly. Or a sniper. One of the two could easily change matters. Yeah, you did realise then that, Wrexham are playing at the racecourse tomorrow. And if Ava was to pull a hamstring sprinting for the club today, it might not go down well.
A couple of the media staff, they went for a run this morning. They did a park run down here this morning, so they could have owned up, couldn't they?
They could have. I mean, us three weren't moving. But
well, we're stuck in these seats because we can't get out.
I was up for it. I mean, it's. I'm not going to say I'm the quickest of the three of us or the second quickest of the three of us, but I'm in the top 3. Come on.
I would have definitely paid some good English money to watch that.
I was quick when I weighed 10 stone less, I'll have you know. One of my main specialities as a goalkeeper was to really quickly get off my line and get kicked in the head, and that always stopped a move. Trust me. We did have a message. I'm going to find this thing I was looking for before, because it was, I think I remember who it was, but I don't want to get it wrong. Let's have a look. Right, I can't find it, but there was a question. Oh, hang on. I think I'm in the right zone here. These tweets look familiar. Where is it? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I think it was Messi Coda, regular. Oh, is the sprint on?
Oh, no. I'm not sure if I fancy us anymore.
No, why not?
The Exeter fan looks young.
He does, doesn't he? And he's got a football shirt on. Ours is wearing
and running spikes.
Ours is yeah, our Wrexham fan is in skinny jeans, so I will be impressed.
And he
But-
hasn't taken his scarf off.
No, which I respect. I think, represent. But this could be very interesting.
Well, to me, the scarf, it's the drag I'm worried about. Yeah, marginal gains. If he goes in the wind tunnel with a scarf on, it's going to, it's going to get a telling off from Chris Boardman, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, that lad looks... Mind you, he's got a hoodie on, so if he gets no speed up, maybe the hoodie will operate like one of those parachutes they have on drag racing cars. Oh, my... Oh, look, he's even bouncing up and down and, like, warming up, and the Wrexham lad's looking at him with their hands on his hips. He looks a bit bemused by it all. Oh, man. This is exciting, isn't it? No. They were also constantly asking for somebody to come into the offices before the match to pick something up. And they kept saying it, and obviously nobody came. And it just sounded a bit to me like it was one of those things like where the police say, we've got a winning lottery ticket, and then they'll send it to people who they can't locate, who they want to arrest, and they turn up. It just felt like a bit like that to me. So that's another one I'm curious about. The message, I'm gutted I can't find it. I'm sure it was from one of our regular correspondents, Messi Coda, who said that they were visiting family and wanted to know a way that they could somehow listen to the game without, like, what excuse could they have? And people were saying things like, say you've got an upset stomach and go to the toilet and watch the match. I'm going to say, if you haven't sorted it out yet, I'll phone you in 2 minutes, pretend that it's, an urgent call from home, and then you can run and watch it round the corner. Let me know if you want me to do that. Oh, hello. It's Jack. Oh dear. As he makes a lovely double-handed gesture.
Oh, God, what a great representation.
He better win now.
Right, now, it's a dragon race. So... Oh. Right. I've got to say...
Absolutely no pressure to you, Jack. Exeter City are 6-0 up this season and haven't lost a game. But Jack has assured me that he is one of...
God, I feel nervous for him.
Say again?
I feel nervous for Jack. There's quite a lot of pressure there.
I think 6-0 means no pressure. He's expected to lose. Where's the dragon? That's what I want to know. This is gripping it. Off they go. Jack has got his head down. He's accelerating.
Well,
Exeter substitutes, blocking him off. Shameful stuff. He's arrived, but where's the dragon? He's got the dragon. Where's the Exeter lad? Oh, I think we're slightly ahead here. Go on, Jack. The Wrexham fans getting behind him. Jack puts on a sprint, his scarf, trailing behind him, and Wrexham win.
Oh, well, that is a shambles.
He's given it to the Exeter lad. Oh.
Wow. I'll tell you what, we spoke about officiating last week. That's controversial. That is controversial.
The Wrexham fans booing Mia, you put it right. This is the end of competitive sport. Sport is dead, everyone.
Disgrace.
Unbelievable. I mean... Well, there we are. Wrexham robbed. Unbelievable. This is one of the worst experiences I've ever had in a away game.
Well, at least we're 1-0 up in the actual game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But this will not stand. This is like when I got up at 3 a.m. to watch Ben Johnson win the gold medal in the 100 metres, and then I got up the next morning to find that he'd been done for drugs cheating. It's like, what was the point of me getting up then? Nightmare. Well done, Jack. Need to applaud that guy. Absolutely magnificent. He was robbed. It's like Lennox Lewis against Evander Holyfield all over again. He gets applause from the Wrexham fans.
Pity applause.
Yeah, pity they chose you. No, that's harsh. No, that's how he won, to be fair. That guy won. Oh, is it on the stream? Oh, we're going to make something of that. If so, Just graphics, I guess, is it? Oh, that's a shame. No, it's going well for us on the pitch at least, but absolute robbery off. Tragic. Senor Oneth sent half-time football scran, that's a good Scouse word, worthy of us. Beef curry donuts from Japan. Unusual but pretty good, quite I take. That looks strange and tempting. Wow. Excellent. I'd recommend have a look at that. Jamie Troll, who has been following Ask Wrexham for a long time and is from around here, is at the game. But she says she missed our online banter, but she sent an Ask Wrexham question about Uri Geller and Michael Jackson. I need to find that. I'm worried I have cider-induced false memories of events at Exeter FC. Well, I can confirm that they definitely did have links with Exeter City. I'm worried I've got a false memory because I've only been here once before, and it was as a 10-year-old who ruled the roost in our house, clearly. We were on holiday at my family in Torquay, and I convinced my mum and dad that a good way to spend one of the nights in Torquay was to come and watch Everton play at Exeter because they were on tour. And so we did. And my recollection is that the sides with no stand on it had a hedge running all the way down. That was my recollection. I'm wrong, I think, because I've been asking like local people who look older than me. There weren't many, but there were some. And they said no. They said, I'm not going to. I bothered Garrett Parry all the way down by essentially, for some reason, thinking that everyone in Exeter talks of the Cornish accent, and I've got to stop.
Well, my memory is that the changing rooms were over where that newish stand were in an older building, and we got beat 1-0, and that sort of spurred us on to have the run at the end of the 2002-03 season for us to then end up going up. And on the way down, I snapped my tooth in a Mars bar.
Oh!
So I'd had it elbow to the mouth about a month before Doncaster reserve game, and it snapped my tooth. And so I'd had it fixed, and as I bit the Mars bar, it was sort of just stayed in the Mars bar as you bit it.
No.
Yeah. So I had to play with like half his tooth, looked wrong. And
I was actually going to ask you about that game. Now I want to ask you more about Mars bars, I'll be honest. Did you store it in the fridge, or was it room temperature?
No, I just left it, threw it in the bin, and got a new cap on when I went home.
No, I mean before was the was the Mars bar. I don't mean
the Mars bar?
yeah,
Or the tooth?
The Mars bar. you know I'm all about the
It might have
food.
been. Sorry, yes. The Mars bar was from the fridge, correct? Yes,
There
that's
you go.
why it hurt my tooth.
I mean, I don't want to upset you, but beginner's error there, I think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Was it a molar or a canine, or one of the funny ones at the front and no name?
One of the front ones,
no.
the main ones, the big ones. Yeah.
The Hollywood teeth, if you will. Yeah. I was going to ask you about that game, as well as the tooth thing, which I wasn't going to ask you about, because the sort of version I've heard was like, Dennis Smith livid, and it's also like everybody knows. Okay, well, let's not make Dennis Smith do that again. Let's just win.
Yeah, I can't really remember a great deal about the game, but we had a couple of chances. I think didn't take them. Obviously got beat. And then, the changing rooms were down a couple of steps in this old building, and you could hear him coming, and we were like, uh-oh, brace yourself. And from then on end, we were brilliant on the run-in, and maybe that did have an effect. Sometimes you do need that little kick up the backside, don't you? And that was certainly it.
Well, just to put into context that, you see, we did well from that point. We equalled the club record for the most wins in a row, which, considering the fact that's an outright club record, because the pre-Football League records at 1921 can be a bit twisted by the fact we played a couple of seasons in the Wrexham League against teams like Rostochland, which, so we won the league by miles and we're hammering everyone. So considering that we equalled the record from back then is really something. So we won every single game for the rest of the season, including that Welsh Premier Cup final against Newport, which was hugely entertaining as well. And we basically did get promoted. Dennis Smith was great fun, especially after matches. I used to enjoy, in those days, I'd go into the press conferences, and I love Dennis Smith. I've got to say, though, he was really unpredictable post-match. If we'd done well, he seemed to come in a bad mood. And if we'd done badly, he'd often be surprisingly upbeat. But that game, I remember after the match, I wasn't able to get there. It was a Tuesday night, and like I say, this is a good distance from Wrexham, and I was working that day. But I remember he was scathing in the post-match press conference, and did actually, I'm not going to say who, and nobody here today, but he did call a player out. It surprised me, really. I thought, oh, that sounded like something you do in the changing room. But instead, he didn't. He did it in public. And I thought, oh, okay. But anyway, here we go. McGuinness chipping the ball daintily back to Whitworth, who hits a long right-footed kick. Can Wrexham close this out? Good header by Cleworth straight away. And well controlled by Dobson. Ball over the tops, over hit. Smith won't get to that.
So with the win, I think this guy asks a different question now of our back three. We've got to definitely keep our distances right. We've got to make sure that we go and compete, but it will be coming onto us a little bit more. Deep, aren't we? Straight away we're deep.
Ball on the halfway line, left-hand side for Exeter. And Purrington is hurried and puts it out of play. Again, something we have done well, isn't it? We've really put pressure on. We force mistakes. You know, players, okay, Exeter often just looking to knock a ball to turn us rather than look for feet, but we're stepping up and causing issues.
Yeah, Purrington's had a few, hasn't he, really? He's just got wrong. But yeah, I totally agree with Andy. We need to make sure, you know, we might have to be a little bit deeper maybe, but not too deep, because it just makes it so difficult for us then going forward. The gaps in between midfield, defence and attack just get bigger and bigger.
I must say as well, on a sad note, I did see a message from a regular listener and big fan of the club, Father Daniel. Sadly, his father had passed away, a lovely man who I did manage to meet last year. And so our thoughts are with you. As the ball is thrown down the line, and Wrexham win another throw-in off the back of an extra defender's head. About 40 yards out, right-hand side. On the halfway line, the ball's laid back and played over the top by O'Connell. That's an awkward one, especially Wrexham complain because Rathbone was blocked off the ball. He wants a free kick, ref doesn't give it. And now the ball is in Whitworth's hands. He bowls it out to the left-hand side. Long ball forwards, McGuinness turns it around looking for McMillan. Good foot in by Brunt, stepping out from the back. In the end, it's Colwell breaking down the right-hand side. So McLean steps in, good tackle. Free kick given because he was pulled back before he got to McLean, though. And it's a half that started where the last one left off, really quite scrappy. Free kick then on the halfway line, right of centre. And it's going to be taken, wow, a long way forwards from where it should be, to be certain, by Trevitt. Referee's back's turned to the ball, and he's not going to intervene now. He's looked over his shoulder. So Wrexham hold the line on the edge of the box. Trevitt stands it in. Good header, clear. Connell got up nice and early, and a miscontrol gives McLean somewhere to chase. He hurries Trevitt, who's managed to find Yogan. Good ball around the corner, and the return pass to him is a good idea. Cleworth gets across, but Yogan's managed to control it. Good strength as well by Yogan. Dinks the cross in and wins a corner. Exeter starting to build up a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, really good play by Yogan out wide. Just, for me, looked like Wrexham were favourites to get to that ball a number of times, and each time he does really well, hold him off. Does really well against Max Cleworth. Physically, gets his body in there, just gives him a little shove.
Short corner, and here he is again now, a little step over. And then, beats his man, nicely done. Crosses it in dangerously, good header at the near post to get the ball clear. It comes back in again, it's Brunt who gets there, but a kind ricochet for Exeter nearly causes a problem. It's a poor clearance as well. I don't think that Colwyn expected to get that, but it's chipped back into the Wrexham box, headed clear, and helped on this time by Matty James. And Wrexham break as a stumble allows Smith to get it. That's I beg your pardon, Rodriguez, a great switch. Finds Smith, McLean and marked outside him. McLean surging in the box, early ball, just too much on it. And defended as well to put it behind for the corner. Matty James making that great run.
Great break. Great break. Smith and Rodriguez. Rodriguez managing to just get a toe to the ball first, then plays a lovely ball over the top. I don't know if Smith knows that McLean's coming, but I think he shouts loud enough to say, and he tries to get it. It's Matty James, isn't it? Going into the box. Just puts it ahead of him. Good defending, but a really quick counter to get us a corner.
Rathbone will take the in again. Matty James available. Jones again is slow to cover. It's played to him. Rathbone once more feeds it out. Dobson in space, edge of the box, stands it up to the far post. Cleworth, it's time to bring it down his chest, hooks a high ball into the 6-yard box, headed away by McGuinness. Good stretch by Rathbone to control it. He's forced out wide, has a little look over his shoulder, sees where Dobson is, pings it to him. Exeter penned in. Dobson, poor ball in though. McGuinness intercepts and it falls for Yogan on the left flank. McLean tearing across, good challenge. It's a throw in to Exeter.
Yeah, we just didn't show any real quality on the ball, did we? A few opportunities to put it in the box, we just haven't put it in with any real quality. The one from Max, I just feel like he lifts it so high, makes it really hard for any attacking player in a gold shirt to really make any good contact on it that would have caused Whitworth any real trouble.
Exeter trying to come forwards again. Yogan is dispossessed. Great work by Dobson. Matty James dinks it early. Smith wins the header, but Rodriguez was waiting for the scraps rather than taking a gamble and running on. He puts good pressure on though, and Wrexham feel the ball's running off the pitch. It wasn't, but it's given away. It's a real scrap in there. Longman trying to dribble and lost the ball. Yogan now. Longman trying to get back to him. Rugby tackles him. That's a free kick to Exeter. Ref doesn't seem interested in anything more than that. I've got to say, if you're on Blue Sky, get on to Ask Wrexham to see Gareth Collins' magnificent King Arthur picture. That's glorious, got to say. King Arthur in his armour. So free kick, left-hand side, and another chance for Exeter to put it into the box. Wrexham hold the line on the edge of the area, don't want to drop off too deep. Referee is ready. There's a cute little run across the front of the box by Colwell, not used. Then McGuinness does the same. The ball swept in. Conco comes and does he get a touch to it? Yep, corner. Decisive goalkeeping again. Just comes, gets his palm to it at full stretch. If it's a full stretch, most keepers can't reach that.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's behind him, so probably makes the best decision in just making sure he gets something on it. But I think if you're an Exeter fan, you're just hoping as much as possible you can get Yogan on the ball. Every time he's on it, he's looked really sharp, really tidy. Just looks so direct, wants to take on, wants to really challenge Longman defensively, and has looked all right against Max Cleworth as well.
Corner, right-hand side, short option is offered. But it's another away swinger towards the near post, flicked off target by McGuinness, who got there first at the near post, but he met it a good few yards outside the first near post, and he couldn't turn it round the corner effectively.
Yeah, difficult technique when it's coming in that quick and you're that far ahead of where you want to be. Have to get a real deft touch on it. Just gets a little bit too much and punches it just wide.
Goal kick then. Okonkwo is taking his time. The Messi coda says half-time talk making him relive PTSD of breaking his tooth in half while eating a soft scoop ice cream cone. That's an achievement, isn't it? Fair play. Ball's not long, and Brunt is underneath there. It's caught in two minds, perhaps. He's lucky. Poor clearance. Ricochets kindly for Wrexham. Cleworth, no nonsense, plants it out of play high in the Exeter half.
Yeah, well, everyone's just saying calm down a little bit. Max has just swung at one there. Doesn't need to really. Yes, he's under a bit of pressure, but can you play a little bit of quality forward? Just smashes it across. Brunt in two minds when he's running back to goal. Does he just roll it back to Arthur, or does he hook it? Just everybody needs to just settle down a little bit.
Head tennis still. Great header by James, and Dobson opens out his body and finds Longman in space on the right. Smith is at the far post. Rodriguez arriving too. The cross dealt with by Hartridge as Longman just tried to drop it in the edge of the 6-yard box. But Wrexham pick it up again. And once more, we got a potential phase now where we can pen them in. Longman taking on Purrington's little step over, going outside, rips it in. Too close to the keeper. He just stops it from going for the goal kick.
Well, I think he takes the wrong option on the first one. He's got so much space.
Jones on the chase, brilliant tackle by Brunt, did ever so well. Went to ground, comes out with the ball, and Wrexham now moving it around at the back. O'Connell getting applauded now by McLean.
Yeah, I just thought he had so much space, Longman, out there. I think he could have just gone 1v1 against him, got him in the box. Then he'd make the defender make a decision.
Long ball over the top for Smith, but it's a straight ball over hit.
He's hit a couple of those, hasn't he, Dobson? Just not quite got him right. Just need to leave it in there. He's drilled it a little bit.
You know, he makes those runs a lot, doesn't he, Smith? And you sort of think, yeah, just... They're not easy passes, are they? But you can drop them in. That's a poor pass out from the back again by Exeter. Turns, giving it away. Rathbone does well to control an awkward ball and hooks it down the line. And McLean's killed it beautifully. Round the back of the defence, sets himself, drills it back in. But again, the first defender, McDonald, gets there. And, well, we are getting into some good positions, but we're not getting those balls into the areas where the striker's going to attack them.
Yeah, well, I think that one, McLean is just waiting for somebody to get in there or make a run. One of the strikers has to break their backside, get across that front post. You might not get it, but what you might do is take a couple of defenders with you, which might just free up the space for somebody else. But neither do it, and they're able to clear it really simply.
Throwing McLean to Rathbone by the corner flag, turns nicely, hits the goal line, digs out of a left-footed cross, just too much on it. Longman's attacking it. Yugan does well to tame that and lay it back. Oh, and the shot was deflected off Longman. It went on target, but Whitworth was at his near post and was able to catch it. The clearance from Archer smashed against Longman. Could have been a freak goal, that.
Yeah, Rathbone did really well out wide, just to keep hold of that ball, then gets it into the box, and I think Longman's probably just on his heels at the back post. He should be in the area where it probably lands, but he gets on the end of it in the end and almost gets a lucky bit of a goal.
Oh, that's a lovely touch by Jones, but too much on it from McGuinness to get to. And Okonkwo has it. Yeah, my fab fact is about McGuinness. We're saying about research we'd done. The McGuinness, I didn't realise this at all, started off at Cardiff and was a goalkeeper. And actually, the first year as a professional, he was a goalkeeper. Bizarrely, Cardiff released him, but said, we will give you a one-year extension as an outfield player. He was an international, Northern Ireland youth international goalkeeper, so he took up the offer. He's now a Northern Ireland full international striker, having had a good journeyman career. He didn't have a good German man career, otherwise he wouldn't be able to play for Northern Ireland, would he? As here now, Cluworth carries it well, finds Smith, backing into his man, that's good, finds Longman and peels away in the box. Longman delivers it, Wrexham got bodies in there, but he's overhit it. Rathbone sprinting to keep it in, does so. Feeds it backwards all the way back to Okonkwo. O'Connell will pick it up. And has it on his right foot.
Yeah, just again, that ball into the box, just lacking that bit of quality. That's where you'd probably say someone like Ryan Barnett does come out on top in those areas.
Wrexham again, Smith holding it up well. Rodriguez feeding it into midfield. Wrexham having a good little spell here of control. On the right-hand side, Cluworth down the line to Longman, who's got Purrington on his back, twisting around again. Finds Rodriguez, lovely first-time pass. Smith is being fouled, free kick. But, you know, you see what the three new players bring in, don't you? The Longman, technical, Rodriguez, technical, Smith, just hard to handle. Concedes the foul. It was lovely, snappy passing to get it to Smith in the first place.
That's right, nice passage. You know, really, really quick, really first time round the corner into feet. And that's where Smith can be so productive, because if he can hold you on, he's so strong. Can we get people now running off him, across the front of him? What a high line this is.
It's level with the wall. That's amazing. Ball's played in. And it ricochets kindly. Rodriguez is tripped. That's got to be a penalty. Linesman's given it. Yeah, penalty to Wrexham. I've got to say, I was going to say then, you said before the game back there, inexperience. That was a crazy high line. A number of times as players, Wrexham players are moving around, some of the Exeter players would drop a long way deep. And I thought, will they get this line right? Well, they didn't, because we got there first. And Rodriguez gets tripped. Wow,
it gives you such a big area to hit, you know, right in that corridor. that you just think, just drop. If you drop 5, then that area's for a really good ball in has to be so much more accurate. He could just put it in anywhere. Somebody gets across the front, they missed the first one, and then Rodriguez gets the first touch on the second one, goes to take, gets brought down. I think there must be a touch. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, it looks a pretty clear foul. He was running after the ball. He could have been in the shooting position. He was tripped up, and it is Rodriguez who will take the penalty. Took the penalty last Saturday, of course. Whitworth is being cute, just kicking his posts, and Rodriguez decides he's going to replace the ball for the penalty. Referee tells him to hang on. Gives a go-ahead. Whitworth jumps up and down. Rodriguez steps up right-footed. Yes! Rodriguez scores his second goal for Wrexham. Well, he said himself the penalty that he missed, then scored the rebound from, wasn't the best. He smashed that one in, didn't he? That was a great finish. Setting the keeper the wrong way, and they're down beneath us now. Absolutely loving that.
Brilliant penalty. Absolutely. Does what he didn't do last week. Puts the first one in. Brilliant from Jay Rodriguez. But 2-0 to Wrexham. Brilliant, brilliant penalty. And what opportunity now for us to go on and get 3 points from this game.
But the sense was so different, wasn't it? When he picked up the ball to last week to this week. I just felt he looked a lot more confident when he did it. The keeper's trying to play up a few mind games, but he's able to just walk up, replace the ball, fully focused on job in hand. And such a better strike than last week as well. Hits it like he means it, puts it in that side of the net, sends the keeper the wrong way, and 2-0.
Well, he's such an experienced player, isn't he? And I think, you know, him and Phil Parkinson made it quite clear when he hadn't scored in the first few that wasn't something that was going to massively affect him. But then I think it was quite clear and obvious how much it meant to him to get that first goal last week. And like Andy says, you could absolutely see that when he stepped up for that one, no nerves at all.
He drilled that, didn't he? Great strike.
I don't care what you say. Every striker who doesn't score goals is proper under, not confident. It does affect you.
McLean tries to get behind, goal kick, but Wrexham restarting really well.
Yeah, it does affect you as a player. I don't care how much experience you've got. If you go to a new team, you want to hit the ground running, and Jay didn't. But what he did have is he had a manager that I'm sure was saying to him, doesn't matter. What you're doing for the team is so good that you're going to stay in the team. You're my pairing. That's what I see. That's how I see it for the end of the season. And that, in one, gives you confidence. And you know at some point, a player of his quality is going to get an opportunity, whether that is a penalty or an open play.
As again, Exeter looks to play out from the back and make a mistake. And Wrexham, well, we're certainly in the box seats now. Through on the halfway line. Yeah. When they were warming up, they were having shooting practice, and Rodriguez hit a shot which was just magnificent, and then stopped doing the shooting practice if he felt, well, I've completed football now, I don't have to do this anymore. I think actually got called across by Kevin Mulholland to have a chat about something or other. But that was a clean strike from the spot as Whitworth has to come out of his box, clears it long, awkward one for Brunt, nods it down, and Cleworth puts it out of play. 2 up. Wrexham fans making great noise. 28 minutes left, and Wrexham just need now to keep this tight and keep probing.
Yeah, well, we haven't necessarily created much in this game, really. You know, not any major chances that come to mind. But what we have done is, in periods of the game, kept the ball well, which is what you've got to do against teams like Exeter, who can sit in and defend well. But we've really come out today and taken the chances that have been there. You know, you look at that free kick that led to the penalty. It's just Exeter, I just can't believe how high they were still. They just make it so easy for Wrexham to just get something out of it.
It was an odd decision, wasn't it? And, well, we punished them. You have to be good enough to punish them. And that was what we were, throwing down the line, flicked on. Smith battles, can't get to the ball on the halfway line. Hartridge under pressure, good ball around the corner, and Yogan, nice progressive first touch, and he burst past Longman for pace, but Cleworth, great tackle, goes to ground and slides in, hard challenge, through it.
Yeah, he's the one, isn't he? That bright spark in this Exeter team, who you just feel he could maybe put that little bit of doubt in your mind as a Wrexham fan or player, that he could just cause something.
Short throw, and the ball comes into the box. Good diving header. It'll be a corner. As lunging header by Rodriguez to get it clear. Yeah, Yagan and set pieces have been their main source of threat. Here's another in-swinging corner. Okonkwo surrounded by Exeter players. Jones is the furthest outfield player back, only 25 yards out. Played into the near post again. Wrexham head it clear again. Brunt it is. Wrexham now, can they break as the ball's fed forward? Smith on the halfway line, racing against Jones, the last defender. Jones does brilliantly to hold him off, but Smith does well to find Longman, and Longman turns nicely. Smith picks her up on the right flank. Wrexham done well to work this, played over the top, and Purrington, well, the spin on the ball didn't help him actually. He's had a header out of play under pressure from Longman.
Well, the counter is on there, leaving 1 for 1 from corners. So if we are able to clear it, Brunt's been brilliant from corners. He's got first contact on loads of them. But if we can then pick up that second ball, we're off and running. And that's where a couple of our counters have come from.
Cross comes in too close to Whitworth from the short throw. And Whitworth immediately got his head up. So there's not much on for him. Wrexham 2-0 up, 66th minute. Here at St James Park. And the ball driven forwards to McGuinness. Nice chest down by him. In the middle of the pitch is Levitt. Colwell, what's going to Levitt? Colwell works out wide. I got really annoyed at myself then. I've not had a referee to moan at today. So I've got annoyed at myself instead. Exeter preparing a change. As Wrexham continues to put pressure on in the middle of the pitch. Ball drilled down the flank by Hartridge, looking for Yogan, and Longman heads it clear. Ed Francis is going to come on. And he's going to replace Purrington. In fact, it's going to be a triple change, it looks like.
So, surprised Francis wasn't starting. He played 34 games this year. Yeah.
Well, he's on now, but the game's gone against his team. Colwell is going to come off. Reece Cole is coming up. And Vince Harper is going to come off. And so that's Yogan coming off. Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I think he's been by far and away their best player. Like I said previously, I just think he's been the one whenever he's got the ball in. You know, he's sort of got the Exeter fans off their seats a little bit, but...
Well, look at his long throw, headed away to the edge of the Wrexham area. Rathbone scrapping for it, brought down nicely, and now it's Dobson driving forwards. Brilliant vision as a look up, finds McLean bombing down the flank. Good run to cover him, but it's popped inside. Rodriguez with a lovely return ball, gave him the eyes. McLean rips at the far post, too much on that. Longman's attacking it, gets it ahead of Harper, the player who's replaced Yogan, who then chops him down. Free kick to Wrexham on the right flank, level the edge of the area. Oh, Rodriguez with a no-look pass there. Oh, I love that. Perfect weight on it. And I think Harper, if he hadn't just come on, would be getting a yellow card for that wild hack at Longman. It's Wycombe 0, Lincoln 0.
I think Wycombe have just scored, as you've said that.
Oh, what anticipation I have. I'm rooting for VAR now. But anyway, the most important thing is Wrexham do their job.
That's right. Orient, Stockport.
Free kick. Level of the edge of the area. Wrexham players move. Rathbone floats into a nice area. Just evades Cleworth as he jumps through. He's angry with himself, Cleworth. He knew he was close. McLean now under pressure. Pokes it wide. O'Connell stuck on the flank. Back to McLean. Exeter working hard to try and get it back. James has won a throw-in. The ball around the corner, 20 yards out, and a good run by Rodriguez. His intelligence has been so clear today. Unlucky, tries to play a return pass as McLean cuts inside and then puts pressure on the ball, and Wrexham are swarming around again. Rathbone stepped in to try and press, forcing a hurried clearance. O'Connell's header doesn't quite carry through to Rathbone, who's chasing like crazy and forces a backwards pass from Francis.
Well, he smelt it, didn't he, Rathbone? He's come from nowhere. He's seen that they're under pressure and they're The ball's not in under any control. Can he nick it high up the pitch?
He sensed there was blood in the water then, didn't he? He really went frenzied, tearing after the ball like a piranha or a caribou. Did they have caribous in the Amazon? Not anymore because of the piranhas, I suppose. As Wrexham have to drop back into shape on a halfway line. It's McMillan working it out wide. Jones on his right foot. As Francis making a run inside. But instead it goes back to McMillan, and Wrexham are comfortable with that and get to step out a little bit more and force in the end the back pass. 2-0 up as we approach the last 20 minutes. Long ball forwards. McGuinness misjudges it. It'll bounce all the way through to Okonkwo. Pulls it quickly out. McLean has a look. Smith's made a run for him. McLean drops it into his path. Good ball. Smith now, left-hand side. Nobody attacking the box. Smith by the corner flag, waits for support. McLean drills it in early. Rodriguez had tried to attack the goalmouth. It's played behind him. And now it's a chance for Lincoln to bring the ball clear. Trevitt leaves it backwards. Fancy bit of footwork by McLean to sidestep Smith on the edge of his own area. If that had gone wrong, that would have been very embarrassing. As good burst of pace by Hartridge takes him beyond his man, pulls it inside into the middle of the pitch. Wrexham are getting bodies behind the ball quickly though, as Cole helps it on. Early ball from Trevitt, a dive in the box. Referee absolutely not interested. That felt like the type of penalty appeal that ends in a yellow card more than anything else. It really didn't look convincing at all from McGuinness, who's complaining. I wouldn't push it if I was him.
The arm round the shoulder for the referee. Please, please, come on now. Don't book me, but, you know, it's been hard work for me tonight.
Yeah, he put an arm around the referee's shoulder. The trouble is no one put an arm around his shoulder. He just sort of made slight contact.
But it was slow motion, wasn't it, as well, going down? It's like, oh.
I was going to say straight away, that's embarrassing. I better wait and see if the ref doesn't give it, just in case. But yeah, that was an easy decision. The fourth official is out again. Looks like Wrexham maybe are planning a change. Hartridge heads the goal kick back where it came from. O'Connell wins it well. Rathbone is shoved in the back. And I think it was a foul, but he made such a drama of it. Ref didn't give it. Smith is chasing that ball, putting pressure and winning a throw-in. Great work. McDonald just had no option. Fair play to Smith. He's non-stop.
Yeah, if he doesn't make the run, though, McDonald just brings it down and they're able to play out.
Rodriguez won the game last week. He's on the score sheet again. And he will be replaced by Stephen Fletcher. Lovely sight for those Exeter centre-backs who've been hassled and harried. And now they get 18 minutes of Stephen Fletcher up against them.
The long-sleeved gold top is just a wonder, isn't it? Beautiful.
He sets it off with a nice, I don't know if it's a white wristband or a bandage, as Rathbone got tackled there. But O'Connell's first to it. Okonkwo launches it. But when he mishits it, the Exeter fans jeer him, but he picks out Longman virtually on the halfway line. Cleworth under pressure, does put the ball out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, just going back to Jay Rodriguez, I think he can be really pleased with his performance today. I just thought at times he was just the one that we were able to find in the middle when he drops into that little bit of space, which we've seen him do in this role, that he seems to be sort of deeper, sort of compared it last week to the sort of role Elliot Lee was playing when he was up top a few months ago. And he just does it so well. The stuff he does when he comes back defensively as well, I think he's been really important for us in today's game.
Turns, knocks it forwards. It flicks off Cleworth's head, but Longman, using his pace, puts pressure on Harper. Cute turn by Harper, but it takes him off the pitch, throw into Wrexham. Yeah, I did wonder, to be fair with the game on Tuesday, I don't think it would have been wise, but I did wonder if Rodriguez might be left on a bit longer than Smith. I'm not knocking Smith, but just to really give a public pat on the back to Rodriguez. He's done well today.
But between the two of them, 5 goals now in 11 games. Sort of coming to a little bit more of fruition, isn't it? I know it's 2 penalties and we've only had 3 all season, but they all count.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not Ava Suckley, Abby Idden numbers, but it's good. Throw-in taken, cleared, but O'Connell is there, launches it long over the top, the ball swirling in the air, Awkward header clear. Awkward take for Rathbone. Can't bring it down, but McLean intervenes. He's had a strong game on the left as well. Really robust. And Wrexham have it back. Brunt dinks it, looking for Smith. He's placed that nicely, and Francis did well to get there first. Smith feels he was pushed away by Francis. I think that was well read by the centre mid. So Smith putting good pressure on, working so hard, chasing and chasing. Dobson joins in. Wrexham fans enjoying this. It goes back to Whitworth in the end.
It's exactly what you want to see, isn't it? 2-0, 15 minutes to go. And that press still as lively as it was in minute 1. And
Absolutely.
And it's Sam Smith who sets it up every time, straight from the top of the pitch. He gets them going, and then with someone like Ollie Rathbone in behind you as well, that certainly adds fuel to the fire.
Here's Wrexham coming forwards. James runs at the return ball by Dobson, so he could have a shot. Dobson again, this time he gives it to James. 25 yards out, lifts it in nicely. Smith beaten in the air. That's important header, as McDonald did. Just got there first. And then James nipped in and nearly won the ball back in the penalty area. And Exeter still struggling to get that ball clear. Ultimately, it's back to Hartridge on the edge of the penalty area. But yeah, Wrexham, since that second goal, have looked good. They've had more of the game than Exeter, who've been looking to go long. They're struggling here to come forwards. McLean picks the ball up after Jones can't control it. And Wrexham just need to close this out now to guarantee what would be an excellent result. Big game on Tuesday as well. 2 big journeys in close succession, but then no more long journeys in the league programme proper. As Longman picks up a cute little back heel from Matty James. I beg your pardon. It wasn't James at all in mind. Here comes the ball into Smith, who helps it on. Fletcher back to goal, edge of the area, nods it to Rathbone, takes it on the body. Edge of the box, he'll hit left-footed shot, drills it. Good stop by the keeper. It was over his head. You'd expect him to get there, but he was quick to get his hands up and take control, but more pressure from Wrexham.
It's a class ball in from Cleworth, though, because Smith's making that run, but to get it to him, he's got to use a little bit of wind and a little bit of nous to just drop it into him, maybe a foot high. So Smith could have brought it down and on his chest, but Smith then flicks it. Fletcher then just makes a little touch, and Rathbone coming onto it. Actually, Longman was in the pitch as well that he might have made a pass to, but chose to go on his left and hit it. Like you said, good little save.
Ball over the top by McMillan is a testing one, but Brunt has won so many headers. Ball drops on the flank and is lifted over the top. Fletcher won't be able to get to that, but Rathbone gets to the second ball, takes it on the chest, drives forwards on the left. Smith wins early delivery. McLean is available for Rathbone, who backheels it to him. McLean first time cross, and Fletcher's being blocked off, can't get to it, but the header from Harper only comes out to Longman, and he loads it back in. Keeper's going for it. Spectacular push away as Smith attacks it, and Exeter can clear. Great ball in that. Real tester.
Yeah, he does really well. Whitworth keeps his eyes on the ball. He's not the biggest of goalkeepers in this league. Does really well. Make sure he gets contact on it. Doesn't do what some keepers do and try and just win that foul.
Well, Pat Jones is now coming off. Again, I would argue he and Yogan did look decent to me, but he comes off, and also Josh McGuinness is coming off. Caleb Watts and Sonny Cox are going to come on. Jones was very lucky then not to get bucked as he left the pitch. He grabbed hold of Brunt's shirt, stopped him coming forwards. Brunt stopped and complained. I think the ref may have seen his number on the board and decided rather than buck him, just let him go off the pitch, which is generous. But then, to be fair to the ref, I have been a lot happy with his judgment. He's looked to let the game flow, but he's been consistent in it. And he's looked to not buck players, I think, and fair enough, as James turns into trouble, but comes out with the ball and prods it on, just didn't quite find Fletcher. So, something of an ineffective back heel attempted by McDonald, not as good as the one he did 10 years ago. But he's got away with it. Fletcher was trying to benefit, and then a cute little pass inside, finds Longman, who pulls the ball, just doesn't get hold of his cross. He was put under pressure by Harper. Now here Exeter are coming forwards.
He's looked so bright in those areas, hasn't he, though, Longman? Just so sharp. Can just tell he's got that extra bit of pace that maybe just puts him above majority of those opposition players he's coming up against in this league. You can just tell he's a cut above, really. But if he can just get that that bit of quality on that cross. He'd be the real perfect player, wouldn't he?
Just had a message from my son, hi Ben, who says he didn't realise, neither did I, that Pat Jones is the lad who was a trainee with us. I didn't realise that. He looks decent. As Exeter again in midfield, Francis feeds it inside, bit of the space for McMillan, helps it quickly on to the right-hand side. Now, Watts drives it in, blocked well by McLean, and now Wrexham are pressuring. Oh, throw-in goes Wrexham. No, it is a free kick. Rathbone just overran himself, it seems to me.
I think they've given it to Wrexham, though.
Oh, he has?
I think
right.
linesman's given it for a handball.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was much contact, and if there even was a tackle, I thought Watts just sort of played for it a little bit and did the typical thing. It landed on the ball as if he was just naturally going to get given the foul, but well played linesman.
Yeah, it would have been very easy to give a foul against Rathbone because he came to sprint again, but he didn't, like I said, make that much contact. So Conco comes across to take the kick. Exeter 2 goals down. And they've got 10 minutes plus added time to make a difference, but Wrexham are looking good at the moment. Okonkwo pulls that, Fletcher's after it and hasn't quite kept it in. The Exeter fans are premature cheerers. They often, get a cheer going, oh look, he's mishit that a bit early, and then turns out not to be so bad. That one did go out, just. I think Wrexham are preparing a substitution. Exeter have used all 5 now. As on the left hand side, Hartridge pulls it back into McDonald, who loads up a big diagonal, looking for Harper, and backpedaling. Longman's done well to intercept and also to bring it down on his chest. His clearance hit Dobson, who looks around in the air, can't see where the ball is. Exeter pick it up and play it back to the halfway line. Moving around neatly enough, McDonald flicks it outside. Francis with the early ball into the box. Good header, clear, and good work by Rathbone to get to the second ball first. Exeter bench won the penalty. There was a hand on Cox's neck, but I didn't think it was more than that. I didn't think it was pulling him around, to be honest. There's a corner.
Yeah, Gary Caldwell's obviously asking for it. I think maybe doing a bit more than asking politely, but they saw something. I thought, eyes were on the ball. I don't think there was too much in it, to be honest. But
it's been very soft to give that. Here comes the in-swinger beyond the far post, beyond everybody. Goal kick. And Wrexham will certainly take that. Still 1-0 to Wickham in the other game. Well, I say the other game that really matters for us. And here comes that familiar change. Ryan Barnett replaces Longman, who maybe he's had his best 90 minutes. He was spectacular, wasn't he, when he came on as a sub at Reading. But he's done really well, and he's done well defensively too. He's had Yogan going at him, looking promising, but not actually getting inside and really getting into the areas where he'd hurt us.
Yeah, he's had an excellent game. Been a constant threat to Exeter. You could never leave him, especially when we had possession, because you know that in 1v1 situations he's so good. And he's had a decent game, yeah.
Smith flicks on the goal kick. Fletcher unlucky not to get there. Creates a loose ball, which Smith fights for. Francis gets a good foot in. Good tackle back by Rathbone, though. Fletcher now under pressure. Holds it well. He's got extra players all around him. And nearly makes his way through and complains to the ref that he was fouled. Nothing given. And now Exeter looking to come forward with Rathbone. Blocks off the forward passage for Trevitt. And then pressure by Smith wins a throw-in. And the Exeter fans getting restless now. They're not happy with this.
Yeah, but the Wrexham press has been really good today, I think. I mean, I don't think Exeter have done themselves too many favours. I think at times they've been really sloppy and not great on the ball, but that comes from the Wrexham press. Like I said earlier, Sam Smith setting the tone at the top of the pitch. And like I said before as well, Ollie Rathbone, he's just been, again, relentless.
Fletcher can't get to the throw because he's being held off the ball. It's played in and Fletcher brings down brilliantly, tight angle, drills it, good hands by the keeper. Wow, how he wriggled through that, I don't know. And from a very tight angle, he really nailed it with his left foot. With quick hands to get up and hold on to that. That was great work by Fletcher, that.
Well, it's probably a free kick on him at the first because there's a shirt pull. But he just lets it drop, and on the half volley just takes it between two, wriggles out of it and then hits it well. But keeper's in a good position, gets his angles right, able to take the sting out of it with his hands.
Wrexham coming forwards again. Fletcher tackled firmly but fairly, the referee says. Ball forwards is a good idea, but Watts is tackled by Bruns, who prods a clever ball to the left. Rathbone cuts inside, he's making room for McLean, finds him, first time cross, once more is a beauty just beyond Fletcher, ricochets off a defender for the corner. I thought for a second it was a ricochet straight to Fletcher in front of an open goal. But wow, Wrexham are really closing strongly, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been really good. Since scoring that second, Exeter haven't really had much of the ball at all up in Wrexham's half, which is really impressive. We haven't sat back at all. We've still gone for that third.
Well, I think the game plan set out by Parkinson has been absolutely spot on today, and they've been able to put it into fruition and really come out dominant in this game. They went for the press. They haven't sat in their mid-block that they have done in so many games that we've seen against teams that have had possession. We've had more possession than the opposition, and we've just looked like going after the ball every time that we've given it away.
Here comes the corner, McLean in swinger to the far post, Fletcher underneath it, nods it in the goal mouth, headed back to Fletcher, back to goal, lovely take to the edge of the area. Rathbone plays a little give and go, gets it back, heads it, good save. Tell you what, since our second goal, Whitworth has been keeping them in it. That was a good save, low to his left. Wow, tight area to even try a goal kick, a 1-2, beg your pardon, and nearly worked for Rathbone. He's quite keen to get his second goal, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's probably thinking he might have the first one taken off him, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's, again, really nice play from Wrexham in a tight area. And Rathbone, I'm not sure if he maybe just doesn't quite catch the strike, or if it takes a little nick. Just doesn't quite catch it properly, maybe. But, again, such good play.
Here come Wrexham again. Hard tackle halts Barnett's progress, but it's knocked over the top, and Fletcher's after this. Turns, nods it square. Sees a space to his left. Into the last 4 minutes, Wrexham looking good. Looking very good as the ball's lifted over the top. Harper now. Barnett's pace allows him to stick with him, and he blocks the cross and does well to clear. Doesn't get it very far, but it's handled. Ball driven. I think there's going to be a card here. Is there? Oh, just a substitution by Wrexham. I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, it is a yellow card because Reece Cole sarcastically clapped the ref for giving handball against him. Elliot Lee is coming on now. And now, is the number that's being displayed the number? Yes, it is. It's Smith. Beg your pardon. So Elliot Lee comes on. Excellent shift by Smith again, isn't it?
Yeah, really good. We said about Rodriguez. I just think that partnership is just blossoming as the weeks go on, which is perfect for Wrexham when we're in the position we're in. Just seems to be getting stronger and stronger. But again, it's great to see that we can give him a little bit of an extra rest. Maybe would have liked to see him come off a little bit sooner, maybe ahead of Tuesday. But I'm sure they'll be right at it again for Cambridge. Yeah,
this has been a game which our levels have been terrific. And they haven't dropped. Lee gets ahead to the long kick by Okonkwo, did really well. Fletcher, for once, doesn't get the weight of his pass right and can't find McLean.
But we said that these games, against that mid-table lot that aren't really going down, aren't going up, haven't got a great deal to play with, so difficult. So difficult to play because you maybe take your eye off the ball a little bit, maybe look to another different game. But they've certainly been fully focused for this today and have been right at it from the first whistle, and still going in the 87th minute with Fletcher there just closing down and not giving the Macmillan any time.
Just from the throw-in, Lee puts a lot of pressure on, working hard. The ball's fed up to the halfway line. Sounds like Andy's lost another tooth, have you? Ball
Very
down the
nearly.
flank.
That was my desk.
Ouch. We were warned by the local press not to trust these desks. As the cross comes in, Okonkwo takes that well. It was his ball, but it was drilled in, and it was good hands to grab it. I want to point out, just because it pleased me, that before that corner that led to Rathbone's shot, the referee, who I've been praising anyway, I would also praise him. He did something you rarely see. And normally, as you know, I'm all against people tying their laces. But he did a straight-legged lace tie. And you don't see that too often. Usually people go on one knee. But it was superb.
That is a flexible hamstring right there.
Yeah, exactly. It was great work. Throw to Exeter deep in their own half. And he's tried to not give it unnecessary bookings. In stark contrast to last weekend. and he was forced to then by Cole just sarcastically clapping him for giving handball. It looks like handball. Yeah, it wasn't smart. Here's Francis. Francis has, I think, looked quite good since he's come on. I think illustrating your point, Andy, that maybe he should have been on from the start. He's moved the ball well. Ball lifted forwards and a firm header clear by Barnett. Now Exeter one's handball not given. There's a little bit of afters as well coming together between Rathbone and an Exeter midfield, and the long ball forwards allowed to bounce by McDonald. Fletcher picks it up, holds it up, edge of the D, waits for McLean to arrive. Rathbone's in the box now. Fletcher goes to the far post. McLean drills it. Good defending by McLellan. Blocks it for the corner. Limps away.
Yeah, well, I thought for a second Fletcher was just going to hit it. It's one of them. We've seen him do it a lot in a Wrexham shirt, where sometimes it just sits up, and he's just got that technical ability, but does really well. Hold on to it. Gives it out to James McLean, and I think Elliot Lee's having a bit of a word with him, saying, put it back, you've got a bit of space and time. But corner, can we get a third?
The Wrexham fans making brilliant noise, clapping along, except right in the middle of them is Jack, the lad who was robbed in the sprint. He's not happy. He's just staring, thinking, I was robbed. Here comes Rathbone, rips it to the far post. Good ball, Fletcher heads it over. Oh, he's just stretching to get there, going underneath it. Lovely delivery from Rathbone, wasn't it?
Yeah, right round the back. We've seen it a few times this season from Wrexham. And it's this time Fletcher that peels off. Just can't keep his head over the ball to just direct it on target. Just goes over the bar, but I'd say that's a good chance.
I didn't catch how much was added on there. So read it 5. Oh, thank you. So throw into Exeter in the Wrexham half. You rightly said, Mia, about 10-15 minutes ago that although we've played well and deserved the win, we haven't necessarily created a lot. I think now you might see it differently, because since then we've really dominated corner to the Wrexham box. Easily headed clear by Brunt. Lee looks for McLean, doesn't quite find him. There's a loose ball in the middle of the pitch though, and it's well won by Rathbone. Can't quite get to the loose ball that he created. All that time you felt Exeter were open to the breakaway. If Wrexham could just bring that ball down and get the ball and get past it once, they could open them up. As Exeter tries to play into the edge of the area, brave stooping header by Rathbone. Looked like a high kick on him by Francis. Referee allows play to continue. The Wrexham fans are going through their repertoire at the end of this match. Harper, another chance to win up. Barnett again. Good defending by Barnett, who steps in. An Ask Wrexham comment I didn't quite get to was somebody saying who's player of the season. They would have said Barnett at Christmas. I mean, he continues to do well when he comes off the bench, but it's a compliment to Longman that he's come in and taking control at right wing back. Here's Hartridge, maybe one last chance from the long throw. It's got a lot of distance, comes off a defender, but there's no one at the far post attacking that, and McLean now has it. Lee's making the run, he's buffeted off the ball. Good play by McLean. Great strength to hold his man off. Goes back to Okonkwo, who puts it off the pitch. I don't think McLean's pass did Okonkwo a huge amount of favours there, to be fair.
Well, I don't know why McLean just didn't fire it up the line. Elliot Lee had made a run. Going back to player of the year, I don't think you can look much further than 20 clean sheets, can you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've won you so many games. The back three have been very, very good.
Long throw again. Okonkwo can't come for this in the crowd, but it's clears, and a spectacular hitch kick volley away by McLean. Comes back in. Fletcher clears. Wrexham, nope, just penned in for the moment. But we're over halfway through the 5 added minutes, and Exeter forced back to the halfway, and Wrexham step out quickly. Ball played in. Brunt with he's going to have a headache in the morning. Another header. And when the balls work wide, McLean is quick, gets there first, runs it out of play. We've really deflated the Exeter fans by having such control of the game in the second half. They haven't even bothered booing McLean in the second half, have they?
No, it's the first game in a while where we've been comfortable for a long period of majority of the game, really. I've felt up here.
Reminds me of the Northampton game.
Yeah, not too many heart in mouth moments.
2-0. When that second goal goes in, you're like...
Just really professional.
Like, yeah, very.
Lee battling away with McDonald. Lee ends up on the floor. And Lincoln feed it to the left-hand side. Poor ball forwards, though. Comfortably intercepted. Drilled over the top. No one's there. They'll go for a throw-in, in fact, to Lincoln, deep in their own half, which is fine. Just eating up a bit more time. As Wrexham close in on a huge win. our other rivals have won today, or Wycombe look like they're about to, but that just makes this all the more important, doesn't it? You need to keep winning, and like we said all along, Wrexham take care of our business and everything else will fall into place. James neatly around the corner, tackle, and the decision.
Well, the teams at the top are going to win, and they're going to win consistently as well. But we've just, like you say, as long as we're doing our job, then it doesn't matter what Wycombe are doing, doesn't matter what Stockport are doing.
Last chance for Exeter, perhaps cutting in on the right-hand side as Cole looks for options, doesn't have any really, and gets past Rathbone, chips a good ball in, headed away well, and Wrexham will bring it clear. This has been a really professional performance by Wrexham and then some. Our control in the second half has been fantastic. 2 goals to the good against an Exeter side that does not let goals in. An Exeter side unbeaten in 6 as Macmillan crosses. Ball headed firmly clear again by Cleworth this time. And Exeter trying to put pressure on. Shot comes in. And that referee anyway has stopped the game. That's a huge win. Wrexham in front of a superb following win. 2-0 here at Exeter. And fully deserve it, don't they? I mean, that was a smashing performance.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Just grinding out these results, but I thought today the performance came with it. 2-0, brilliant. You know, to come to Exeter, who, you know, obviously doing our research in the week, a team in the last 4 clean sheets. They've been in real good form, but Wrexham have come here, been really professional, and for me have just shown that there's a real gulf in quality. I really just thought they looked a cut above from what Exeter were able to put out there today. And that's full credit to Phil Parkinson and his staff for getting everything right, because I just thought the game plan from minute 1 was there, and we just really didn't look like at any point we were in any real trouble.
No, I thought they were excellent today, yeah. Managed the game very, very well when they went 1-0 up, and then the second goal just kills the game off and they just see it out. It's the important bit as well. If Wycombe are still winning 1-0, it's a goal difference. Maybe we nick a goal back on that, because I think that may come into it by the end of the season. So if we can keep chipping away at that, all the better. But a very, very professional performance, a really high tempo and intensive without the ball performance, which is so important when you go against these teams that are mid-table, that you've really got to just take the game to them and take it and win it, and they've certainly done that. Yeah,
Wrexham took the lead. Ollie Rathbone with a cross, a shot, who cares? The key thing is he struck it cleanly and it hit a defender and ricocheted past a completely helpless Whitworth. And then the second half, after Exeter had lined up bizarrely high for a free kick, they were caught out. Rodriguez was tricked in the box. He stepped up and bravely, after last Saturday's fun from the spot, drilled it beautifully inside the left post. There could have been more as Wrexham completely took control of the game. But like I said, this is an informed side, unbeaten in 6, and a side that's kept 5 clean sheets in their last 8 matches. And as the Wrexham players acknowledge the fans, and Phil Parkinson does, it's a long journey here, the longest of the season. Wrexham fans who've made their way down here and made noise throughout the game will be absolutely thrilled that they made the trip, won't they? That was excellent. I just want to come back as well onto your comment, though. That intensity without the ball was outstanding today. We really got at Exeter, and okay, they want to knock the ball long. We weren't allowing them to do it with any accuracy, and they just didn't cope with that, did they?
No, so impressive. I think, you know, just to go back to the point of, you know, after that penalty going in, we just immediately, straight after from it, I think we almost, you know, had an immediate opportunity after that as well. Just the intensity, you know, didn't go down at all, and that's exactly what you want to see. And now it's all about, right, we need to go again and hopefully get some more points again on Tuesday night. Another long trip, which I'm sure, you know, a lot of those away fans will be doing again. Full credit to them. Noisy as ever again today, and I'm sure they'll be just as loud on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. Travelled in their numbers. I thought Lewis Brunt, for me, was brilliant today, and the 3 in midfield, they set the tempo for the game, and that out of possession press, they were just on it, and Rathbone just looked back to his best, where he had umpteen energy batteries left to go and just keep going and going. So well played, Wrexham. On to the next one more chalked off.
Yep, absolutely. Another away win, another 3 points, another clean sheet. And it's got to be said, another comfortable clean sheet, really. Okonkwo didn't have all that much to do. What he did well. There was a brilliant piece of goalkeeping in the first half where he was clearly fouled from a corner, did well to punch it away, and when it came back in, it was drilled on target with power, and he made an excellent save. But that was about it. And like I say, defensively was solid. I mean, that was one of those games where you just go through the entire team and everybody's a 7.5 at least.
Absolutely.
And the organisation, as you said, Phil Bangston's game plan, absolutely spot on. We, from the very start, when we were hitting those diagonals and dragging them out of shape, we read Exeter. And yeah, hugely satisfying. Join us again on Tuesday at Cambridge, a place where, Andy, you have always enjoyed success. So let's hope we enjoy the game again on Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Fantastic stuff from Wrexham. It's been a pleasure as always bringing you the game with a final score of Exeter City 0, Wrexham 2. The first time Wrexham have won in Exeter since the Romans, probably. We've been Mark Griffiths, Mia Roberts and Andy Morrell from Wrexham AFC.